down 3-0. It's starting to get late early for the Yankees in the World Series. So let's talk about the Game 3 loss. And, of course, we're going to keep the hope alive for Game 4 with Ryan Garcia, content creator for Empire Sports Media and the Fireside Yankees podcast. My man, what's going on, man? You was tweeting up a storm last night on X. You were on fire. What's going on? You ready to get into this?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. I mean, last night was a tough loss to the Yankees, to say the very least.
All right, hopefully you've had a chance to woo-saw. Now let us know your Game 3 thoughts and your biggest takeaways.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't particularly impressed with Clark Schmidt. It was a disappointing start for him. He was only able to get through 3. He walked 4 batters. The Dodgers didn't really knock him around. He just kept inviting chaos by putting guys on. The bullpen did a good job kind of holding the Dodgers to where they were at. They only gave up 1 run after Schmidt was pulled from that early start. And then the offense. I mean, the Yankees can't hit with runners in score position this postseason. They're slugging under 300. They're hitting under 200. Their OPS is 600 with runners in score position. And that's over 110 plus plate appearances. It's not a small sample size. They have not hit in these critical situations since the start of the postseason, and it's coming to haunt them in the World Series.
So what's the why on that? You gave me the numbers. What is really going on with the Yankees bats? Is it that the Dodgers pitching is that good? Or let's be honest, man, does it look like the moment is just too big for the Yankees offense?
I think it's a combination of both. To Walker Buehler's credit, his stuff was better than it's been in the regular season. His fastball had more vertical movement. His curveball is moving more vertically and horizontally. And the bullpen, the Dodgers bullpen is very good. But I do think part of it is also the Yankees have really struggled in these situations. The Dodgers have a very great game plan pitching-wise where they will attack with fastballs early so that they can get ahead in the count and get a count advantage, and then they'll attack with breaking balls. The Yankees have not attacked the fastballs. They have chased a lot of breaking balls, and as a result, they're not swinging at pitches to hit, and the Dodgers are getting ahead and putting the Yankees offense in a position where they cannot get ahead, work counts, get on base, or get pitches to hit. So the Dodgers have pitched well, but the Yankees have also not adjusted to the Dodgers game plan.
Yeah, Walker Buehler hadn't taken the day off. That's a little old school movie reference right there if you get that. But let's talk about Aaron Judge, man, because you were very upset with what All Rise has done this postseason. So I'm going to ask you, you know the numbers. Is there, in terms of this postseason, we know how bad he is, but has he ever been this bad at the plate at any point of his career?
I don't know if I've seen Aaron Judge have a stretch where he's looked this pitiful. I know to start the year he was really struggling, but even then he was like a league average, if not slightly above average hitter. Aaron Judge has straight up been a bad hitter this postseason. And, when you look at kind of the context of 2024, yes, it is a historical season. This is one of the greatest seasons we've seen by a right-handed hitter in the history of the sport. But this is New York, and these are the New York Yankees. You cannot follow that up with a bad performance in the postseason and then expect the season to be remembered particularly fondly. It's unfair in a sense that the regular season, the postseason, right? There's so much pressure placed on the postseason, but that's part of being a New York Yankee. So on one hand, he's still a great player. He's still the captain of this team. He's still all of these things, but the Yankees, it's about championships, about winning in the postseason, and he hasn't contributed to winning in the postseason in quite some time.
If he doesn't come around and the Yankees don't win this World Series, where is he on the New York sports Mount Rushmore? Do you take him off? What's his legacy?
Look, among guys who are currently playing, he's still one of the 2 or 3 at the very least most impactful, influential, beloved players in New York. There's no doubt about that. But when it comes to all-time legacy, this is going to reflect pretty poorly. It's not going to be something I think that ages well unless he has a World Series where he turns it around. Is he a bum because of a bad World Series? No. But is he going to be remembered kind of the way that Jeter was remembered, for example? No, not unless he gets that World Series ring and not unless he dominates.
Where Aaron Boone was talking about getting 1. And Game 4 should go to the Yankees, with the Dodgers expected to go with a bullpen game against Luis Hill. Keyword, should. The Dodgers are absolutely on fire. So how do the Yankees get their first win of the series? What's the keys to the game for tonight?
They need a competent start from their starter, right? They need Luis Hill to, even if it's just 5 strong innings, you'll take it. He has the stuff to dominate. For Luis Hill, he's kind of a wild card because I'd argue as some of the most overpowering stuff in the rotation. And then they're going to need their bats to get going. They need to get going early and often. I think, one of the big things that the Yankees were looking for last night was an early kind of like, hey, let's hit a 2-run home run early, or let's have a big RBI single, whatever it may be. The Dodgers struck first. And I feel like that kind of just sucked the air out of the ballpark. The Yankees need to strike early and often, and Heel needs to give them a quality start.
If they get swept, real quick, do you call this season a failure?
They played pretty close games in this series. Like, it's not like the Yankees are getting blown out 8-0 or whatever it may be. Game 1 was decided on the last pitch. Game 2 was a 4-2 game. Game 3, it's 4-2. It was a little close. Like, the score's a little closer than it actually was. Dodgers had control all game. They won the pennant. I'm not going to call it a failure. Is it a great outcome to get swept in the World Series? No, but like, they were one of the last 2 teams standing. I can't imagine like being so to the point where it's a failure. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, they got to the World Series.
Yeah. The former athlete, I hate using the word failure. It's just one of those buzzwords that gets you retweeted on Twitter. Ryan, tell the people they can find you, man.
Yeah, you guys can find me at Ryan Garcia ESM on Twitter, and the Fireside Yankees podcast, where we've got plenty of content.
All right, man. Thanks for hopping on, bro.